Florida's comparative negligence law. Some of us may have heard about this term, some may not. No, have no fear. We do have two experts here to kind of break down what that law is and, of course, what it means for accident victims. We have Francisco Llanos here and Josh Costello, both here to break all down the Florida's comparative negligence law. Guys, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, so tell me exactly what that is and how it impacts people in accidents.
Well, in Florida, due to some law changes made in 2023, now if you are more than 50% at fault for an accident, you will get no recovery. Whereas before, say you're 80% at fault, you could still get 20% of what the damages should be.
Okay, so let's stay there a little bit because it's changed here in Florida, right? So tell me a little bit more about these changes and how it does impact people.
So traditionally what happened, just like Josh stated beforehand, if you were 51% at fault, you could still recover 49% of whatever, let's say a policy was available, right? So let's talk in large numbers, $100,000 policy, you would have still been able to go ahead and recover $49,000 worth of that policy, depending obviously on your injuries, et cetera, et cetera. Now, because of the fact that you are 51% at fault or beyond 50% at fault, you unfortunately can no longer recover anything.
So would 51% be like partially at fault?
Correct.
Partially at fault. So
Correct.
if someone was partially at fault, there's multiple parties that are involved in something like this. What type of evidence do they need to bring in order to prove all of?
So nowadays, let's say if it's a 3-car accident, 4-car accident, etc., the evidence that you really do want to go ahead and have is, like always, a police report, points of contacts, pictures. These are the evidence that will help us go ahead and paint a clear picture to the insurance company of the fact that you were not as liable as you could have been.
Yes.
So obviously you have to take into consideration, you still have that 50 beyond threshold. So as long as you're not 50 beyond threshold, it doesn't matter if it's 1 car or 19 cars, you should still be able to recover.
And so if I say that I'm worried about being partially at fault, is it worth calling a lawyer?
Yes, I would say it's definitely worth calling a lawyer because a lawyer would be in a better position to be able to tell you how at fault you are and if it's possibly over 50%. There's always room for argument too. Even if someone looks like they might be more than 50% at fault, sometimes you can convince the insurance company or the court that they're actually less than 50% at fault and they'd be able to get a recovery. So that's why it's always important to call a good attorney, like the attorneys at Demesman and Dover, 866-954-MORE. Because we care more.
I love that you said that we care more because it does go beyond, breaking down the information. It goes into helping people really alleviate that stress. So guys, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Anytime.